harnessing the potential of Uganda's petroleum resources, forging a sustainable future and preserving the natural beauty of Uganda. UNOC, your partner in Uganda's oil and gas industry.
Amanya gange nze Namtebi Sharon nga nkolera wano wennyini Saka Kirombe oba Makindye. Empangula gye nawanguddemu ssente mbadde nga nkozesa mobile money nga nsindika school fees w'omwana ku ssomero. Okutegeera nti mpangudde nze mutima neegambye nti kambalinde bamale okujja ndyoke nzikirize nti mpangudde. Kyennyinza okubagamba nti si byabafere weewaawo abafere gye bali naye ennamba eri emu yokka era bw'eba ekukubidde omanya eyo si yabafere. Mpulira bulungi nnyo era ndi musanyufu nnyo. Naye MTN mobile money mbebaza nnyo mwebale nnyo mwebalire.
Together we're unstoppable.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with Baby Junior jelly.
Though dried their targets and everyone would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, Baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa love Baby Junior jelly. Baby Junior's the skin. No more worries anymore. Boo, 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 boo. Baby Junior.
Baby Junior.
Gold. We all want it. That soft yellow glow of a subdued sun in your hands. That precious polish of elegance. To hold it is one thing, but to taste it is everything else. Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality, unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
Welcome back. You are still watching News Tonight. The youth have been encouraged to deliberately participate in the governance of the country. Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Rhoda Ngonzi, asserts that government has laid out platforms through which the young people can engage and participate in governance and advise them to avoid being used in unlawful acts.
To understand the Constitution, which leads them not to exercise their rights as instituted in the Constitution. To combat this, the Center for Constitutional Governance has launched the initiative codenamed Hope Initiative Program for Universities, aiming at promoting constitutionalism and constitutional governance in universities in Uganda. Presiding over the launch, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Rhoda Ngonzi, who missed no words in explaining how pivotal it is when young people contribute to the governance of our country.
Participating in constitutionalism doesn't mean you should break the law for you to show that you are concerned about the constitution. Ugandans are well represented at different levels through different structures. So one way of young people participating in constitutionalism is identifying issues for the young people and engaging the leaders who represent them.
But Ngonzi cautioned the youth against being used into unlawful acts to destabilize peace in our country.
There are very many avenues through which you can express yourself, but the way and the manner of expression must be within the law. Assemblies, processions, demonstrations are guided by law. Yes, they can demonstrate provided they comply with what the law requires.
Sarah Birete, the Executive Director, Center for Constitutional Governance, justifies the need for such programs in the quest for good governance.
Best time for anybody to learn the culture of constitutionalism and good leadership practices is at university level. All pre-independence leaders all over Africa were university students. all important national leaders made their mark in universities, and that's the best place to nurture and recruit national leaders.
While giving a keynote address, Professor Mwambutsia, a renowned professor of politics and governance, challenged the youth to seize the opportunity to become independent thinkers for meaningful participation.
A university student who is supposed to have a universal mind, a university student who has the privilege of being knowledgeable, a university student who sometimes goes up country and is admired as almost a tourist, and he is not participating in public affairs, he is still a subject, not a citizen. That is unacceptable.
Ruth Sekindi from Uganda Human Rights Commission emphasized the need to amend the laws to reduce on the limitations of the tribunal.
The limitations of the Commission and Article 53 of the Constitution, we don't handle any matter that is before a court of law or judicial tribunal. Then the other cases that we don't handle matters involving dealings between government of Uganda and foreign states.
The 5 years initiative that has been launched by the Center for Constitutional Governance aims to bring together university learners from about 25 institutions of higher learning to debate with a view of inculcating good governance in the country. Andrew Sebira compiled this report for UBC News.
Civil society organizations advocating for the rights of persons living with disabilities are demanding for justice for the victim in the defilement case against Chambogo University lecturer Dr. Aaron Lawrence. Dr. Aaron Lawrence is accused of taking advantage of a visually impaired 16-year-old student and defiled her.
Dr. Aaron Lawrence, aged 56 years, a lecturer at Chambogo University on Wednesday, appeared before Nakawa Chief Magistrate's Court. The case presided over by Chief Magistrate Christine Nantege, prosecution led by Eunice Mbaine, informed court that inquiries into the case are ongoing and asked court for more time. Subsequently, court remanded the accused Dr. Aaron Lawrence. At court, relatives backed with members from the civil society organizations were seen carrying placards with words asking for justice for the victim.
We want to act, we want this case to be an example for others out there that are quiet. These are people these are girls who are defiled, and they keep quiet. And worst of all is that the people around us themselves always protect the perpetrators, unfortunately. Now, why do they protect the perpetrators? We need to protect the victims because they are vulnerable. They have no voices. There's no one who can talk on their behalf. There is literally no one.
If at all she is really infected with HIV/AIDS, you know what is going to take place. So for us as a women rights disability movement, we are really looking forward to see justice done, and done quickly, because this is something that needed to be fast-tracked, so that we are able to feel that we are all equal when it comes to access to justice.
UBC TV, we managed to talk to the victim's father.
We are sure that with the strength we have, the people behind us, we shall succeed in this case. Yes. And it has been overdue. We have been waiting for a long time, since last year, December 24th.
Prosecution alleges that Dr. Aaron Lawrence, on 12th October 2023, between Chambogo University and Namugongo Nsawo village in Wachiso district, performed a sexual act with ex aged 16 years with a disability when he was HIV positive, and also a person with authority over her. In another development, the Mengo Magistrates Court is set to resume on the 26th of August 2024 to hear the case involving 5 people accusing the murder case of Indiga clan head, Engineer Daniel Bosaroma. The accused persons in the murder case of Engineer Daniel Bosaromwa include Luja Noah, Harriet Nachiguli, Nakabale Joseph, Namayanja Ezra, and Naluwende Mire. According to the prosecution team, inquiries into the case are still ongoing. Following this, Mengo Court has further remanded the accused to Luzula Government Prison. Prosecution alleges that the 5 and others still at large on 25th February 2024 at Lungu Jeni Wachiso District murdered Indiga clan head Engineer Daniel Bosaromwa, Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
And Uganda is set to host its second Building Awards with the aim of promoting planned, decent and safe building structures that are in harmony with the environment. This was revealed during the event's launch here in Kampala.
Over the years, Uganda has had substandard buildings that in most cases are not in alignment with the environment. The National Building Review Board, through these awards, aims at fronting outstanding quality buildings in Uganda.
I'm pleased to inform you that last year we had the first of its kind where we recognize outstanding players in the built environment. And this year, once again, we are honored to recognize the industry players.
Is your building having an occupation permit? So if you don't have, then they will eliminate you at the time of verification. But that doesn't stop you from participating.
Sustainability in Uganda's structures is vital, and the awards will consider an outstanding structure from the 7 different categories.
Look at BIMS, our web-based system for applications, for building permits and so on. You do not have to meet anyone. You can do it while far off in Gulu or in the village. You can apply for a building permit right here in Kampala. That helps to sustain our environment. You're not burning fuel, but because you're using technology.
Shall adopt a participatory approach with all stakeholders in the built environment, having an opportunity to nominate potential winners of all the 7 categories. The awards shall be premised under 2 sub-themes, that is technology and harmony with the environment. The awards this year shall recognize players who have either developed technologies or made some significant improvement on the existing technologies, or adopted the existing technologies and mainstream them into their processes and operations to enhance their efficiency and also reduce the environmental impacts of building operations.
This year's awards will be under the theme Building for Sustainability. Mario Nawori and Stephen Kalisia for UBC.
And with that, let's take a quick break. When we return, more details.
Hey, business people of Uganda, the Uganda National Lottery is here for you. It's the perfect opportunity to boost your business. Zimba your business by becoming an authorized Uganda National Lottery agent. By paying a security deposit of just 250,000 shillings, you will receive your very own Uganda National Lottery terminal, expert training from the pros themselves, and marketing materials to skyrocket your sales. And with a generous 5% commission on every ticket sold, the potential for earnings is limitless. Don't miss out. Act now and call us toll-free at 0800 33 44 33 to see if you qualify. Join us today and Zimba your business. Ituba Uganda is regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Where does it come from? That thing that makes us Ugandan. Some say it's in our history, in our culture, and in our hearts, in our warm smiles and vast miles of coffee. It's in our inherent pursuit to always be better, to never stop growing and glowing. We are a nation of sweat and skills, a nation of ideas and inventions. But what truly makes us Ugandan is our quest to invest in agribusiness, manufacturing, tourism, infrastructure, health and education to improve the quality of life of Ugandans. That's what makes us Uganda Development Bank.
We can do better.
Uganda Development Bank, inspiring development.
And now in business news, the East African Marine Transport is introducing a new locally made ship on the Mwanza, Tanzania, Port Bell, Uganda route. MV Mpungu, the first scheduled roll-on-roll-off vessel, is expected to boost bulk cargo transport on the Central Corridor route. In an engagement with the business community in Kampala, Green Road, the vessel's operator promised competitive cargo transport charges.
MV Mpungu, a privately owned vessel, is expected to have its maiden voyage from Port Bell in Luzira to Port of Mwanza in Tanzania in August this year. The 96-meter roll-on, roll-off vessel seeks to transform regional trade and transport.
If you understand that, that means there is no double handling, there is no time wastage in offloading a truck, loading a truck. If you're carrying a container, your truck gets onto the ship with the container on board. When you get to Mwanza, you drive off with your container all the way down to the port. And that's the unique offering.
Lake Victoria, the world's largest tropical lake, offers vast potential for trade and better connection. However, this massive water body is underutilized, says David Musoke, the acting managing director, Uganda Railway Corporation.
So when we have Mpungu joining the state vessels, we had the 3, now we have 2. We expect to buy other 2. At least there is hope and there are chances of higher business in the region.
The owners and operators of MV Mpungu have held a business engagement event ahead of the vessel's official launch.
So imagine I'm a small manufacturer. Are we only focusing on FCL so that if I'm a consolidator, I stay away from MV Mpungu, or that's a solution that you're going to cater to as well?
You know, with logistics, we're in the world of risk. So I just want the team there to clarify what they are planning to do as in regards to insurance.
The event in Kampala on the theme facilitating an efficient integrated logistics system through Lake Victoria via MV Mpungu sought to showcase the niche of the new vessel and also attract business.
2020 we eventually got to a point where we could sign the financial clause and do all the legalese, and it's taken 4 years to get to this point here where we actually have a vessel and are now sitting in front of you to convince you that the dream we had is something you need to buy into.
Currently, we will start with 2 sailing, but at some point in time, we will do 3 sailing because the rotation plan allows us to do 3 sailing, but that is always cargo dependent and how you're buying the slot.
So you're welcome to do business with us, and we look forward to more engagements with you. Thank you.
Owned by the East African Marine Transport and operated by Green Road, a regional logistics company, MV Mpungu is the first scheduled roll-on, roll-off vessel on the Mwanza Port Bell route. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
And Minister of State for Microfinance and Enterprise Development, Haruna Kasoloche-Yune, has tasked financial institutions and SACCOs to tighten the terms and conditions for one to secure loans as a means of limiting cases of loan defaulters. This was during the opening of the second National Microfinance Savings Saving Groups conference held at Hotel Africana in Kampala.
Finance, Planning and Economic Development Report of 2023 indicates that the number of people using SACCOs has increased from 5% in 2018 to 14% in 2023, with registered SACCOs of over 50,000, serving 18 million Ugandans. This has prompted stakeholders in the microfinance and saving groups sector to discuss how they can propel such economic transformation through microfinance and savings.
Maybe they give you 1 million and you needed 500,000. That is financial literacy and financial education.
It is said that through the establishment of parish development model, AMIUG and Profira, Ugandans have been able to transform their standards of living. The permanent secretary of the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, Ramadhan Gobi, highlights on the purpose of this two-day conference.
We would want to see more Ugandans saving because that's the only way we can accumulate longer-term finance to invest. But now, also you go back and realize that people cannot save enough when they don't have income. So the household income then comes in. How do we grow the household income? And again, the government is now working on mainly how to support Ugandans to grow the household income. So we have diagnosed the problem and we are providing a solution by government coming in to intervene.
He, however, emphasized the need for financial inclusion, microfinance in the digital era, gender inclusion and social protection in finance, among others.
And these are helping in improving the quality of the information we have about the borrower, because it was also causing the interest rates to.
While opening the conference, the State Minister for Microfinance and Enterprise Development, Haruna Kasolo, tasked financial institutions and SACCOs to devise means of curbing loan defaulters, suggesting the strengthening of terms and conditions for one to secure loans.
Money to someone in form of a loan, that person must pass a test. Then that person will come before your committee, ask questions. What are you going to use this money for? Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? Then if he doesn't, then deny that person the facility.
We talked to some of the participants who said the conference is timely.
Financial services have to be available at the lowest possible cost.
A lot of contributions in lifting, especially vulnerable, poor and vulnerable people from poverty.
The second National Microfinance and Savings Group Conference is running under the theme Leveraging Collaborations, Partnerships, and Promoting a Saving Culture to Foster Socio-Economic Transformation. Rebecca Natongo, Susan Inabugude, UBC News.
Hi, my name is Rachel Nduhuchiri and I am a Ugandan actress and the winner of the Africa Monologue Challenge 2023. Now, thanks to your immense support, the Africa Monologue Challenge Season 2 is coming to Uganda between July 25th and August 20th. Africa Monologue Challenge is looking for passionate Ugandan storytellers to take part in a Pan-African short film that will showcase Uganda to the rest of the world. To be a part of this, all you have to do is weave a captivating narrative that captures Uganda's cultural heritage while fostering connections between 10 diverse individuals from 10 African countries. This short film will be shared to over 50 film festivals. Now, to find information on the AMC 2024 finalists, visit www.africamonologue.com. Please submit your short script, which should be 10 pages for a short film between 10 to 15 minutes, to africamonologue@gmail.com before 30th June 2024. Now, let's talk about rewards. The selected script will have the writer's full name in the end credits, You will get a chance to collaborate with amazing filmmakers from all over the world. You will get a small token for your creativity, and you remain with full ownership of your script. Let's work together to create a Pan-African film that will echo African stories throughout the world.
And now in sports, foreign teams to compete in the Africa Rugby Cup are in the country. Senegal arrived this Wednesday, while Kenya and Namibia are, Kenya and Namibia and Algeria are expected on Friday.
The 2024 Rugby Africa Cup approaches. The Senegal rugby team is in the country ahead of the tournament that starts on the 20th of this month. Defending champions Namibia, along with teams from Kenya, Algeria, Cote d'Ivoire and Zimbabwe, are expected to arrive on Friday, 19th July. Senegal will open up the tournament with the match against Kenya on Saturday at Nambole Stadium. The victor of this opening game will advance to the semi-finals to face either Algeria or Cote d'Ivoire. This year's Rugby Africa Cup of Nations, hosted by Uganda, holds a significant importance as it marks the first stage of the 2027 Men's Rugby World Cup qualifiers for the African region. The event will see 8 nations competing for the converted time. Meanwhile, Team Uganda continues with preparations for the tournament. During the training sessions, the national team players called upon Ugandans to come in big numbers to rally behind and provide the much-needed support as they represent the country on the continental stage.
Well, I think we're good. Health-wise, the team is good. Most of the players are good. A few players from the Sevens are set up, joined in over the weekend, and today is just polishing on a few things, movement, getting to know where the zone you're supposed to be, how many phases and what decision makings do we have in the attack. But yeah, and polishing a little bit of our defense as we get into camp on Thursday.
Well, and that does it for News Tonight. Thank you for sticking with us throughout the hour. Elizabeth Nakakoni on Sign Language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Have yourselves a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Predict the outcome of 10 football games and win big with tickets at only 500 shillings. Play for this Friday's draw to stand a chance to win big with Sports Stake 10.
Buy your tickets at authorized shops on nationallottery.go.ug to download the app or simply dial *278#.
Ugandan National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Gold. We all want it. That soft yellow glow of a subdued sun in your hands. That precious polish of elegance. To hold it is one thing, but to taste it is everything else. Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality, unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.